The Undead Celluloid Society welcomes you into another podcast. My name is Michael.
And I'm Rachel.
And today we are covering the 1997 film Leprechaun 4 in Space. Leprechaun 4 is if you remember from our last couple of podcasts, Rachel's big complaint was that the first three Leprechauns kind of followed a similar format. Well, I assured Rachel before we watched this one would be a little different than the first three. So, Rachel, was this movie different from the first three movies?
Yes, it was. It was kind of the same, but it was different enough that I wasn't upset about it.
Okay, I can
that I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I think that. I mean, when you hear the title Leprechaun 4 in Space, you're like, oh gosh, this is going to be horrible.
Yeah.
Like, what am I getting myself into? To be fair, the CGI, the set design, horrible. Not good.
Oh my gosh, the CGI looks like something I did on a coding class back in 10th grade.
High school, yeah.
Yeah. Like where, it's just like a background and then you have an object moving through it. It was hilarious.
The video game I made my senior year of high school looked better than that.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, you're expecting kind of the lowest of the low. Honestly, though, it has fun with its premise. It's, it knows what it is. It's not trying to take itself seriously in any sense of the imagination.
Yeah, no, they definitely started going more towards the comedic, what is it? Comedy horror?
Yeah, comedy horror. I mean, we saw that more in the last one because the guy directed the last one as well.
Yeah.
But this one especially, it's kind of just absurd.
Yeah. So basically, this is the Leprechaun's take on Aliens.
Yeah. So if you've watched Aliens, which is considered by most people to be one of the greatest sequels ever made to a movie, some people say like there's like a list of specific movies, and I'll name three of them, like Empire Strikes Back, Aliens, Terminator 2. They're considered just as good, if not better, than the original.
Yeah.
Like some of the greatest movies ever made. So they decided we're going to do Aliens, but with Leprechaun. And it does start out. I mean, these Marines are hunting the creature. It never gets called a leprechaun in the movie. It's just the creature.
Yeah. The space Marines.
Yeah, the Space Marines, the very good Space Marines that are so good at their job. They're doing their job well.
Yeah. But so they go to hunt down the leprechaun, the creature.
The creature, yes.
Meanwhile, he kidnaps a princess.
Yeah, from some like random planet, right?
Yeah, I don't remember what they called it, but
I hope this isn't her planet that they're on because they say something about her being from some other planet. That's right.
Yeah, so he kidnaps her and then tries to persuade her to marry him because he's rich and apparently her father, the king, gave all of his money to the people, and she is a very greedy princess.
She flip flops too a little bit. She's like, he was being noble, and he's like, don't you want to be rich? And she's like, you have no idea how hard it is to be a princess and not have money,
not have anything to wear.
Yeah, not have anything to wear. Specifically, is not have anything to wear. I mean, to be fair, she's not wearing a lot.
No, she's really not.
She's got more glitter on than clothes.
Yeah, it reminded me of what Princess Leia wore.
Oh, Jabba the Hutt.
Yeah, that's what it reminded me of. But so I guess she ends up agreeing, but then the Space Marines come and blow him up.
Speaking of Star Wars, what did you think of the Lep saber that he uses to kill the Marine?
Yes, they have a lightsaber.
A Lep saber.
Lep saber. This is one of my favorite parts. It was very short, though. It was weird.
Well, yeah, he's like the size of Yoda. Why would he have a full-size one?
Yoda's got a full-size one, doesn't he?
No, he doesn't. It's small.
Is it?
A little tiny one.
It looks, it's only a 1.6 mil budget. They couldn't go for Hey.
Well, at this point, Yoda doesn't have a lightsaber in like timeline chronologically, because we don't see Yoda's lightsaber until Attack of the Clones, 2002. He doesn't use the lightsaber in the original trilogy.
You're right. Huh. So maybe they got... No, there's no way they got giving him a lightsaber from that.
I mean, if
His
it did,
lightsaber is green, though.
it is green. I will say.
There's
I
no
mean,
way.
We're not going to speculate on that.
Okay, yeah.
But I mean, honestly, if they ripped off from it, they're not going to say that. You know?
Yeah, no, never. But anyway, so yeah, they blow him up, and then they steal all of his gold and take the princess, who has passed out because she got partly blown up and her hand got blown off.
Yeah, her hand got blown off.
Yeah, so they take her on the ship, and obviously the leprechaun does not die.
No. The one sergeant pisses on his leg.
Kowalski
pisses on his leg, and then we see some CGI stuff. Very funny.
Yeah, it
very
goes
funny pitch meeting
up
scene.
into his
urethra,
and he carries the leprechaun's spirit,
kind of like a green STD.
But yeah, so basically the leprechaun comes back into being because Kowalski's getting a hand job from one of the other Marines.
Oh, she was trying to do more, I think, but she just like grabbed onto it, and he's like,
"Stop being so rough!
Stop being so rough! You're trying to take it home with you." That's an actual quote from this movie. Speaking of which, that club was pretty. So they get back on their ship and they're like flying back. I get that they're the only people there, but they're like in the entertainment section, and it looks like it's supposed to be like entertainment lounge, and it's like the 6 of them, and the girl and Kowalski are dancing, and then the 4 other guys are just sitting at like a table drinking, and there's music playing, and it's just so lame. It's like the lamest bar I've ever seen in my life.
I mean, there is only like 6 or 7 of them on the ship.
So. Yeah, I mean, at that point, I wouldn't have even just went there. You know,
you could just go drink
at your room or something.
Yeah, right. Maybe that's where all the alcohol was. Maybe they just needed a change in scenery. Yeah, but
I get it, but still, it was pretty lame.
It was sad.
And then when Tina comes in later, Tina is the scientist that got assigned to their mission, and none of the Marines like it. Why is this girl here? Even though they have a girl Marine, I don't know why they make such an emphasis on her.
Yeah.
But the scientist named Tina is there to collect samples of life from the planet they're on. That's like barren and has purple electricity coming down from the sky, and it looks like stuff they probably shouldn't be breathing
in. Yeah.
But she walks up, and then the main guy that's assigned to protect her is like trying to make small talk with her,
and he sucks.
Oh, he's the worst. Like, I've never seen a guy approach a girl and fail so miserably. And I'm like the most awkward person in the world to like just talk to people I don't know. This guy is awkward, but also mean. Like, he's not even like nice. He's just like
so you. She said like what she had a PhD. He's like, oh, so you're smart.
Oh, so you're smart.
And she's like, well, what is the criteria? What is your criteria for determining intelligence? And he's like looking at her like, what the fuck? And she's like, what prerequisites do you require or something to be smart or to consider someone smart? And he's just like, how about we just pretend this conversation never happened?
And then he gets kind of like defensive too. He's like, oh, you don't think I'm smart, and like stuff like that. And
yeah, he's like, she tells him he's being defensive, and then he's like, I'm not being defensive,
and I'll shoot anybody that says so.
Yeah, and I'm like, what? He
also says at the end, I'm feeling a lot better than I look.
Oh yeah, but
like, what the fuck does that mean?
He knew he fucked up with that one though, because he turns around and he's like, what did I just say?
Yeah, like, what the hell was that?
It's like me with every conversation I have with a stranger.
That one's pretty bad. Like, he said that so confidently too. I feel a lot better than I look.
I do that stuff. I will say, like,
Fair
it
enough.
just pops out of my mouth, and then I'm like, okay, you know what? Why the fuck did I say that? I didn't mean to say that.
Fair enough. So yeah, little rant that room sucks. The ship looks terrible too when it comes into the frame. It's like it recreates the Star Destroyer scene from A New Hope when it's flying by at the very beginning. And I'll tell you what, Star Destroyer in 1977 looked a lot better than this Leprechaun ship in 1997.
Yeah.
Horrible.
It was bad.
It
was so
didn't
bad.
look good at all. But yeah, so back on that, to the plot. You know, Kowalski's getting a little handy from
What was her name?
I don't even remember what
the
her
female
name was.
marine.
The female marine. We'll call her that. The female marine. And she plays with his Willie a little too rough, apparently.
I think he was just in pain.
No, I think he was in pain too. So the Leprechaun, to recreate a scene from Alien, which is the infamous chest burster scene, where an alien pops out of a man's chest and then runs away. The Leprechaun does the same thing, but it is through his penis, not his chest.
And then he dies.
And then he makes a joke about using protection.
Oh, yeah, he used prophylactics.
He makes a joke about that. Then he like flies away off all wires and something. Not sure. This Leprechaun's also more well spoken than the last couple.
Yeah, like the beginning scenes where it's him and the princess.
Cigarette.
He's got a cigarette and a freaking like
tuxedo,
3-piece tuxedo, tuxedo on. I'm like, what the heck? But he still had his shoes, his gold buckle shoes on.
He did.
Without those.
No trace of weakness to wrought iron.
No, he didn't really have any weaknesses.
No trace of him having an affinity for polishing shoes.
Yeah, no.
No wishes with the gold. He's not really even like into the gold, really.
I know, he wants the princess.
He wants the princess. The princess reminds him about the gold at one point.
Yeah.
And then he goes like, I want to be gold.
Because if he marries her, then he becomes king, and he's like even more rich.
So to cut in the story before we continue on with the crazy shit that's about to happen, what do you think of that Leprechaun theory now about it being a different Leprechaun?
Oh yeah, I think that's accurate because there's no way he survived the ending to the third moon.
Or when he blows up. Well, and also there's so many different rules.
No, he doesn't blow up. He disintegrates.
He does. Yeah, because they burn the fire.
Yeah, and he's just bone.
But I mean, and there's so many different rules for each Leprechaun that I don't know. I think that it's just not the same. It's not. It's definitely a different Leprechaun.
Yeah, no, I think they're trying to. They're definitely trying to use a different approach.
Well, it also seems like this one's set so much farther in the future too. You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, they're in space.
The next one goes back to the hood, which we're not going to cover until next year. This is the last Leprechaun movie we're covering for this year. We're going to cover the next 4 next year.
Right.
But I was saying that for our audience. But yeah, this movie seems like Miguel Nunes's character Styx says that they're in the 21st century. So I don't know how far in the 21st century they are. I will say they are definitely overestimating where we're going to be because we are not anywhere close to doing all the stuff they're doing.
Oh, no, not at all.
But yeah, so Leprechaun wreaks havoc. We also meet like this Russian doctor through like a screen and his weird...
I thought he was German.
He's German. You said Russian. That made me think of that. He is German. He's doing a fake German accent. It's terrible.
It's pretty spot on. Dr. Mittenhand.
Dr. Mittenhand. We find out later why he's called Dr. Mittenhand. And his nerdy little what's the sergeant call him? Pencil pushing loser geek. What is his name? His assistant. Harold, his assistant.
Yeah, Harold's a weirdo.
Who's gay, bisexual? I'm not sure.
I'm not sure.
Because
has a foot fetish.
He's got some kind of fetish. He's doing some weird stuff in this movie. Harold's a weird ass dude.
Yeah. I think he was my favorite character.
I don't know. He weirded me out the whole time he was on screen. I'm glad what happened to him happened to him.
Oh my gosh. He cracked me up. Anyway.
So they're hunting the leprechaun down. And we eventually get Dr. Mittenhand to come out of his. We don't know that he's there. He's on a screen the whole time, like on a video screen. He comes out from behind this like door, kind of like the Wizard of Oz.
He's been on the ship the whole time.
He's been on the ship the whole time, kind of like the Wizard of Oz. Like, and he even mentions the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah,
and he is
to be a wizard.
He is. Oh my gosh, I don't even know how to describe this person thing. He is one arm. He is a head. He is a shoulder, and then the rest of him is like a
robot,
like
R2D2.
You ever seen those dry vacuums that are like those big ass things that like suck stuff up, but they can't get like water in them? They're giant vacuums for like industrial like plants.
Nope.
Okay, well, that's what he's attached to.
Okay.
And he what was his experiment? Like he wanted to be the first computer with organs? With organic
insides or something.
Yeah, well, he did that. His heart's like pumping in something.
In some glass vial,
glass vial on his vacuum cleaner.
His blood is in another vial, it looked like.
Yeah, not an enjoyable existence. Yeah, mitten hand. One hand. He's got one hand. He does got one hand. I also do like that whenever he gets like pissed off, he starts spazzing out. And he starts beating his
He's beating his own robotic body, and it starts spazzing.
Yeah. But he does not. So the Leprechaun has killed 3 Space Marines at this point. They don't. The other Marines want to get the fuck off the ship. Their contract's up, and German robot Nazi guy wants them to kill the Leprechaun because he wants to experiment on the princess that they had found. Now, at this point, no one in the movie ever finds out this, which is dumb. But the princess is evil. She's selfish.
Oh my god,
she's terrible.
Yeah.
She's just as bad as the Leprechaun. But no one finds this out. But she's unconscious, and she had just regenerated her hand on her own. And so the Nazi doctor wants to experiment on her, get her blood, and then use that to regenerate cells. We assume that he confirms later that he wants to regenerate his own body, assuming he regretted turning himself into a
computer.
You ever watch Toy Story?
Yeah.
Turning himself into a toy that Sid kid made.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Like the baby head with the spider
that's what he looks like. That's what he looks like.
You're not wrong.
Also, the sergeant has like a metal plate in his head from where he got like shot in the head and then lost half of his head and then carried a Marine 15 miles.
15 miles? Yeah, no, I called bullshit on that one.
Yeah.
So anyway, they basically spend the rest of the movie
hunting the little shit. He's a little shit. He is such a little shit.
He is, man. He has fun with it.
Oh, he does. He has glee. And the princess, when she wakes back up, does too.
Yeah. And then so they actually do find out she's evil, remember? Because they're following him, and then when they find
she tricks them. Yeah.
Well, she goes with the leprechaun. And to threaten them.
Yeah, well, how does she threaten them, Rachel?
She shows them her breasts, because apparently on her planet, when a woman shows you her breasts,
it's a death sentence.
It's a death sentence.
And Miguel Nunes and the other guy are like,
and the guys are just like,
okay, like, what body part is she going to kill me with?
Yeah.
It reminds me of
They were not upset.
It reminds me of the Death by Snoo Snoo from Futurama. I don't know if you've ever watched that or not.
Not that episode.
But there is Fry. I don't know why Bender's in there, but Fry, Bender, and Zap Brannigan are Fry, Bender, Zap Brannigan, and Kip are tied up to these like giant Amazonian women, and they're sitting. They're tied to these walls, and their sentence is death by snooze, which is sex. And they look over and they see a skeleton with his pelvis crushed. And so that's basically what I like. That's what that reminds me of.
Okay. Not a bad way to go.
Not a bad way to go. Well, and the skeleton also had a cigarette in his hands. Great show. Very, very good show. But yeah, so yeah, they do a lot of back and forth Leprechaun bullshit where they're trying to capture him. They're not very good at it.
Most of them die.
And then the Leprechaun gets turned into a freaking giant by this ray gun. And which makes him way more ineffective than when he was a little guy. When he was 3 foot tall, he was way more effective than he was as like 60 feet tall.
Yeah, he couldn't move very fast, and he was all over the place.
So the main Marine guy saves the princess for some reason. She got kind of amnesia randomly. Also, the princess, we're kind of all over the place with this one. The movie is also, to be fair, kind of all over the place with this. The princess and the leprechaun both hate each other. They decide they're going to get married, but they both plan on killing each other.
Oh yeah, like they're talking about. They're
so toxic.
Yeah, he calls her a ball busting bitch.
Yeah, it's like, oh no, you'll be rich.
Because he put the force field around the spaceship.
Around the spaceship.
So nobody else could steal it. But she's like, what are you doing? That's our ride home, basically. And he's like, it's a force field, so nobody else can get into it. And she's like, oh, okay. He's like, you ball busting bitch.
He also says earlier that he plans to
wed her,
bed her, and bury her. So,
and then he's like, I wonder if the father will pay for the wedding and the funeral. But then apparently the father has no money.
And then later, when she reminds him that he has to go look for his gold, he leaves and she says, he's so charming, I will give him a proper funeral. They plan on killing each other. Oh yeah, they're like the most toxic couple.
Yep.
But they also have glee. They're both little shits in this movie.
At least he found someone who matched his level of
matched his energy.
Yeah, but matched his vibe.
It all culminates with not Cody, not Scott, protagonist, opening up the door. I mean, he's basically
Books.
Those guys. Books, yeah, exactly. Yeah, his name's not very memorable. Also, not Bridget, not Tammy. Is Tammy the girl from the third one?
Maybe.
Well, this girl's name's Tina.
Yeah.
But like we're still in the territory of attractive,
oh my god,
boring characters.
Listen, Tina was not boring.
I thought she was boring.
I didn't think, and she's really hot.
She's very hot. She also is an Emmy award-winning actress.
Supporting actress.
That's still pretty good.
Yeah,
that's still pretty good.
She's so attractive. But
I liked her
a lot.
I will say I liked her a lot more than. I mean, of course, I liked her more than I liked Bridget.
Nobody likes Bridget
from Leprechaun 2. I don't remember a whole. I would say she's probably my favorite blonde female protagonist that we've gotten so far, mainly because the thing that takes away from the girl in Leprechaun 3 is the baby voice stuff.
Well, she was under his spell.
She was, but I just didn't like that. It just, you know what I mean? It took away.
Her name was Tammy.
It was
They
Tammy.
have a thing for hot blondes. Named something with a T.
Don't worry. When we cover the next two in the future, I don't think there's any white people in it. It's Leprechaun in the Hood. And Back to the Hood. I actually don't think there's any white people in the next one, but I could be wrong.
No.
There's nothing wrong with that, but I just think that's funny that they had a trope going for a while of attractive blonde girls, and then nothing dark-haired guys.
Yeah.
There are nothing characters. I mean, all three of those guys are nothing characters.
I don't know.
At least they gave Scott the Leprechaun stuff.
Yeah.
And the third one, this guy is not really doing a lot for me. Books.
He was comedic relief.
Yeah, he was. I mean, he's kind of dumb.
I mean, he was the one who thought to, at the end, the Leprechaun, they open the cargo bay door and the Leprechaun gets, like, pulled out into space and then blows up.
Yeah, Rachel, I could have thought of that. They stole that from Alien. Not very inventive. They're in the cargo bay.
I'm not saying it was, like, the most intelligent move ever. I'm just saying that he was the one who did it.
He also saved the princess. I'd have let that chick fly out the window, too.
Yeah. His white knight, what's it called? White knight ego or whatever.
Oh, we didn't even talk about what happens to Dr. Mittenhand, Rachel.
So
Mitten Spider.
When the leprechaun finds Dr. Mittenhand and the princess, she tells him that Dr. Mittenhand is stealing her blood to use it for regenerative purposes. And so,
apparently the species can just do that.
Yeah. So he puts her blood in a blender and then puts a tarantula and a scorpion. Why they have these two creatures on a spaceship is beyond me.
They also had a centipede in one of the.
But that one was like in a jar.
Yeah, like preserved.
Preserved, yeah. But anyway, put those in the blender and then injects it into the back of his, like, basically into his spinal cord. Mm-hmm. And he turns into some spider scorpion mutant being.
Mitten Spider.
He names himself Mitten Spider.
No, you gotta say it like him. Mitten Spider.
I can't do a German accent, but he says he's losing his humanity, and before he does, he's like, I'm not Mittenhand, I'm Mitten Spider.
How much of his humanity did he actually lose, though? He ripped those pants off Tina like he knew what he was doing.
He tried to eat them.
He did, but he ripped those pants off her.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, this movie had a lot of just wild shit in it.
I did. Really
like did. You think, Leprechaun 4 in space. This is the problem with a lot of bad movies, is that like we coast on the premise of it being bad, and then after like 20 or 30 minutes or so, it just gets boring because there's not a lot of substance there. This just keeps having like absurd shit happen throughout.
It kept me hooked.
It was great. Like, I was not expecting the fucking doctor to turn into like a spider scorpion hybrid.
Yeah.
Bad guy. So technically there's 3 bad guys in this movie.
Yeah, and he...
Also, the sergeant, like, cross-dresses and he's a robot. He's not even like an actual, like, person.
And then he has a split personality?
Yeah.
How do you do that when you're a robot?
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot going on in this movie. Great. We also... in preparation for this podcast, we read the pitch meeting that the director gave to the head of the studio, and it is what sold the director, or what sold the head of the studio, Mark Adman, was the leprechaun coming out of the penis scene as a chest burster. Yeah, penis burster, I guess. He
told the director, what's his name?
His name is...
Oh shoot, we forgot already.
Yeah, I don't want to say it wrong. Let me just go to what we... Yeah, we're a very professional podcast here.
Very professional.
Yeah. Talk about something else that you like, Rachel, while I'm looking at this
Talk about something else. I like the fact that it's not just 2 people trying to fight off or kill or beat this leprechaun.
Yeah, I was really surprised Miguel Nunez survived. I thought he was going to die.
I thought he was going to die too. I literally thought he died. I thought
he died
Mitten
too.
Spider got.
I thought that Mitten Spider.
He's like, you can't kill me that easily.
He throws his hat at. He's like, "What the hell happened to you?" Threw the hat at him. Oh, funny! That's what I was going to tell you. Miguel Nunez, because Rachel asked what I knew him from when we were watching the movie. He is in one of the greatest films of all time, Scooby-Doo from 2002. And I quote
Ryan Trenchard Smith.
That is the director. Sorry, guys. He pitched the CEO on the penis burster scene. And the CEO loved it. And that is how this movie got greenlit.
That's great.
That's all you need to know about Leprechaun 4. Back to Miguel Nunez. Yeah, Miguel Nunez is he's been in a couple good horror movies, in my opinion. He's been in Return of the Living Dead. He's been in Friday the 13th, Part 5, The New Blood. He's also been in A New Beginning. Sorry, A New Beginning. And then he also was in the greatest film of all time, Scooby-Doo 2002, which I quote a lot. There's a scene where Daphne is, so that all the mystery gang breaks off. This is a little tidbit for Scooby-Doo, but they all break off. They're all trying to figure out how to solve the mystery of Spooky Island by themselves for some reason, because they all are mad at each other. Well, she goes to this voodoo tent, which is run by Miguel Nunez. And she's like asking for advice, and he goes, "Here's some advice for you. Purple's a fall color. It's the middle of May." I don't know why it makes me laugh every time I hear it, but I love it.
It's okay. That's like my favorite scene from Holes, where the little girl is like, "I'm tired of this, Grandpa. That's too damn bad."
Yeah, right. Exactly. We love what we love.
Yeah,
but okay, so digress. We pretty much, I mean, we digress. Leprechaun 4 in space. Absurd as it sounds. Before we go into our rating, I do want to kind of rank them. I want to see what your opinion is. I can give you my ranking of the Leprechaun, the first 4 that we've watched so far, that we can, next year in retrospective, we can rank all of them.
Okay.
But we'll just go on the first 4 that we've watched. In my opinion, I'm going Leprechaun 3, Leprechaun 4, Leprechaun 1, and then Leprechaun 2. Order from best to worst.
Okay.
So what do you think?
Mine is Leprechaun 4.
Okay.
Leprechaun 3. Leprechaun 1. Leprechaun 2.
So we're in agreement that Leprechaun 2 is the worst.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Bridget sucked.
I could have gone without seeing that one. Absolutely. So just curious about our ratings for that. That's our ranking for right now. Probably will change a little bit once we watch the next 4 next year. But happy St. Patty's Day. That was our St. Patrick's month. Leprechauns. Yeah.
We watched them. I think we did a little round of applause. Round of applause in the chat, please.
Okay, we had mostly a good time.
Yeah, I think we finished strong.
Oh, yeah, we definitely finished strong.
We finished strong.
I enjoyed that one so much more.
It's so much different than the others.
But like how I said, last week, that I wish I had watched the third one first.
Right.
Because by that, I liked it. I liked it better than the first 2, but by that time I was already just done with the trope.
I understand.
And this was a nice refresher.
Yeah.
Refreshing.
Yeah, it was its own kind of thing. Yeah. And I think that the director really summed it up well in his article, that he wanted to embrace the more comedic element in it. That really refreshed the series.
Yes.
Because it made it more entertaining. Leaning into the absurdist of it. Because the first one is kind of trying to be more straightforward horror than it is comedy. I mean, it is horror comedy still now, but it's trying to be more scary. Yeah. And it doesn't succeed at that. Leprechaun's not a scary monster. Might scare you if you're a little kid. I mean, it could still scare you now, but I mean, it's really not that intimidating.
It's not.
The makeup's great, I still think.
Agreed.
A lot of the practical effects in this movie, specifically Leprechaun 4, they were still pretty good. Mitten Spider looked good. Gross. Nasty. I liked the sergeant's metal head. I liked the kind of the robotic prosthetic of the guy. The CGI looked terrible, which I was not expecting it to look good.
Yeah.
But I mean, practically, it did like the stuff didn't look terrible. I mean, if you could cut out the CGI, it wouldn't be that bad. But yeah, I think we finished strong. Honestly, this series is kind of one of those ones that just has gotten better with. I mean, aside from 2, it's gotten better with each installment.
Yes, I would.
Usually, they
say-
get worse with each installment.
I completely agree with that. I would say watch 1, skip 2, and then go on.
But if you're a completionist, I mean, you're gonna watch all.
Oh yeah,
anyways.
absolutely.
But yeah, so that's our thoughts on Leprechaun 4 in space. But yeah, so we're going to go into our rating system.
Oh gosh, no.
Going into a little vacation. I am going to start because Rachel loves when I start.
I do. Gives me something to think about.
Gives her something to think about. I think, and before we go into our vacation rating system, well, we might bring it back, going forward. But I think as we are, evolving as a channel, I think that it's something that we're going to have to reserve for special episodes, just because it's so hard to come up with specific vacations without being repetitive.
Yeah.
So this is going to be our last vacation rating. We're going to go into a more traditional star system that we will discuss in our next episode. So stay tuned for that. But for our final vacation or consistent vacation rating, which we might bring back at some point for like occasional episodes.
We don't have to.
It's hard for Rachel. I am going to say that this is going to be like taking a cruise.
Okay.
In the sense of, what you're getting with the cruise. It's got the standard, ambiance of, people drinking, you swim in the pools, you see the ocean, go out and see the ocean. They have clubs, they have comedy shows, they got restaurants, they got all this stuff. But they stop at different islands, and on the different islands, you get something that you didn't experience while you're on the ship.
Okay.
So you're getting a little bit of nuggets of different stuff.
Yeah.
But you're still getting kind of the streamlined experience.
Okay.
So that's what I get with Leprechaun 4 of, we're getting the streamlined experience. We got the attractive leads, the boring attractive leads, and then we get little nuggets of like interesting stuff.
Okay, I like that one. My vacation would be going to an amusement park.
Okay.
Like you said, you know what you're gonna get when you go to an amusement park, but it's still a wild ride. A roller coaster of emotions.
It is a roller coaster for me. I will say that I heard you laugh more at this one than I've heard you laugh at the last 3.
Oh, I laughed out loud.
She did laugh out loud pretty hard.
It was good. I really like this one.
Okay, so that's our vacation rating. That's our final one, consistently. Is this a Trisha movie?
Yes.
Oh, 100%. We both agree on that.
100,000%.
Trisha, this is a movie that you missed out on. We could have watched it last week, and you decided not to. Could have been here.
Definitely missed out.
You would have loved this one, but we can't change the past. She probably will never listen to this until I say that we made fun of her during it or something.
She probably won't even then.
No. But yeah, so we thank you guys so much for listening. Please get like, subscribe, share the video, let your friends know. And also, if you guys have suggestions for horror movies, we are open to covering different films. We have a set list of stuff we want to cover, but that doesn't mean we won't cover the films you guys suggest.
Yeah.
Just leave a comment, let us know. But until next time, we are the Undead Celluloid Society. My name is Michael.
And I'm Rachel.
And we really thank you guys for listening.